The crystal champagne flutes clinked around the ballroom as my parents celebrated their 40th wedding anniversary. From my seat in the kitchen, I could hear my sister Amanda's practiced laugh, the one she used when networking with potential investors. "Miss," a waiter approached hesitantly, "are you sure you wouldn't prefer to be in the main hall?" I smiled, adjusting my simple black dress, a stark contrast to the designer gowns floating through the party. "No thank you. Apparently this is where I belong." 2 hours earlier, Amanda had handed me my place card with that signature smirk. "The kitchen staff table," she'd announced loudly enough for nearby guests to hear. "More your level, don't you think?" Our parents had simply looked away, pretending to be absorbed in greeting their high society friends. They'd perfected that move over the years, looking away whenever Amanda put me in my place. The massive TV screens around the ballroom, meant to show a slideshow of family memories, suddenly switched to a breaking news alert. The room fell silent as the announcer's voice cut through the party chatter. "Breaking news. Mystery buyer acquires Sterling Industries in shocking $300 million deal." The family-owned company, facing bankruptcy after recent mismanagement, was purchased in a surprise move this afternoon. My father's champagne glass slipped from his fingers, shattering on the marble floor. Amanda's perfect smile froze as the screen displayed the acquisition documents, and my signature at the bottom. The buyer, revealed to be Elena Sterling, younger daughter of the company's founder. I stood up from my kitchen table, smoothing my dress. The waiter who'd been concerned about my seating looked at me with wide eyes, finally understanding who I was. "Would you mind?" I handed him my phone. "There's a few emails I need sent. The passwords for the company servers change at midnight." The ballroom had erupted into chaos. Board members who'd dismissed me as the quiet one were frantically checking their phones. Investors who'd laughed at my lack of business sense were calling their brokers. Amanda stormed toward the kitchen, her designer heels clicking aggressively on the marble. "What did you do?" "Business," I replied calmly. "Isn't that what you've always said I don't understand?" Our father appeared behind her, his face ashen. "Elena, this is impossible. You don't have that kind of money." I pulled out my tablet, pulling up some familiar documents. "Remember when you both insisted I couldn't handle running the company's tech division? When you gave Amanda control despite her having zero technical experience?" They stared as I scrolled through page after page of patents. My patents. Innovations I'd developed while working beneath my station in the company's labs. "Turns out," I continued, "those silly little programs I was working on are worth quite a bit. Especially to our competitors. Who, by the way, actually read technical documents instead of just looking at last names and fancy degrees." But the board would never approve this sale," Amanda sputtered. "The board?" I laughed softly. "You mean the same board that's been covering up the company's losses? The ones who helped you hide the failed projects and vanishing investments?" I pulled up another document, a detailed audit of the company's recent performance under Amanda's leadership. Years of mismanagement and covered-up failures, all meticulously documented. "They approved the sale an hour ago," I said, rather enthusiastically, once they saw the alternative was a very public investigation into their creative accounting. The kitchen staff had quietly gathered around us, watching the drama unfold with barely concealed satisfaction. They'd seen how the family treated me over the years, the snide comments, the dismissive attitudes, the constant reminders that I wasn't sterling material. "You can't do this," my father's voice shook with rage. "This company is our legacy." "Was our legacy," I corrected, pulling up more documents on my tablet. "Let's review that legacy, shall we? The tech division, my division, which you gave to Amanda despite my warnings." The screens in the ballroom, still connected to my device, began displaying a damning presentation. Sterling Industries Technology Division. Asterisk 2020, $50 million in revenue under Elena Sterling. Asterisk 2021, $45 million in revenue under Amanda Sterling. Asterisk 2022, $20 million in revenue under Amanda Sterling. Asterisk 2023, $5 million in revenue under Amanda Sterling. "Stop this." Amanda lunged for my tablet, but I easily stepped aside. "Oh, we're just getting started," I smiled. "Let's talk about Project Phoenix. The one you said was too complicated for me to handle. More slides appeared. Project Phoenix status. Asterisk original budget. $30 million. Asterisk current losses. $85 million. Asterisk technical failures. 23. Asterisk client lawsuits pending. 8-inch. The ballroom had become eerily quiet, the party guests transfixed by the unfolding disaster on the screens. Several board members were already edging toward the exits. Elena, my mother finally spoke, her social mask cracking, you're embarrassing the family. Embarrassing the family? I clicked to the next slide. Like how Amanda embarrassed us by selling our core technology to competitors because she couldn't understand the technical documentation. Or how about when she hired her boyfriend as chief technical officer despite his only experience being a failed startup and a trust fund? The screens filled with email exchanges, technical reports, and financial statements, all documenting the systematic destruction of what I'd built. But here's the real embarrassment, I continued, my voice carrying across the now silent ballroom. While you were all busy protecting the family image, I was building something else. Something you never bothered to notice. I nodded to the waiter holding my phone. He pressed send and suddenly every screen switched to a new company profile. Phoenix Rising Technologies. CEO, Elena Sterling. Valuation, $1.2 billion. Patents held, 147. Major clients, Fortune 500 list. That's impossible, Amanda whispered. Impossible. I raised an eyebrow. Like how it was impossible for me to understand business. Or impossible for the quiet daughter to build something successful. I walked into the ballroom aware of every eye following me. The kitchen staff, my former colleagues, formed an honor guard of sorts behind me. While you were planning parties and managing our image, I addressed the stunned crowd, I was in the labs. Creating, innovating, building, and yes, planning. My father stepped forward, his deal-maker smile firmly in place. Now, Elena, surely we can discuss this as a family dash. Family. I cut him off. Like how you discussed giving Amanda my division. Or how you discussed seating me with the kitchen staff tonight. I gestured to the loyal workers behind me. These people saw my potential when you couldn't. They helped me test prototypes, stayed late to assist with research, believed in my vision. They're more family than you ever were. The screens switched again, showing a new announcement. Phoenix Rising Technologies announces. Asterisk acquisition of Sterling Industries complete. Asterisk full audit of all departments pending. Asterisk new management team to be installed immediately. Asterisk previous executive team's positions under review. Amanda's face went from red to white. You can't fire me. I'm a Sterling. So am I replied calmly. The difference is I earn my position. Speaking of which, I motioned to my assistant who had been quietly documenting everything from the kitchen doorway. She stepped forward with a stack of folders. These are your separation agreements, I announced as she began distributing them to the board members and executives. You'll find the terms quite generous, considering the alternative would be a very public investigation into your creative management practices. The ballroom erupted into a flurry of whispered conversations and rustling papers. Several board members were already signing, their hands shaking slightly as they realized the extent of my preparation. As for you, Amanda, I turned to my sister who was still staring at the screens in disbelief. I have something special. I handed her a particularly thick folder. A complete audit of your tenure as division head. Every failed project. Every misappropriated fund. Every technical disaster you tried to cover up. The SEC would find it fascinating reading. You wouldn't dare, she hissed, but her perfectly manicured hands trembled as she gripped the folder. Actually, they already have a copy, I smiled. But I'm willing to handle this internally, if you agree to step down quietly. My father finally found his voice again. This is ridiculous. We built this company dash. No, I cut him off sharply. Grandfather built this company. You and Amanda nearly destroyed it. Let me show you exactly how. The screens switched to a new presentation, this one more detailed than the last. Sterling Industries under current management. Asterisk market value. Declined 60% in 3 years. Asterisk innovation pipeline. 0 new patents filed. Asterisk technical talent retention, 15%, industry average, 85%. Asterisk client satisfaction, bottom quartile. Asterisk employee morale, record low. Then the comparison. Phoenix Rising Technologies. Asterisk market value, $1.2 billion and growing. Asterisk innovation pipeline, 147 patents, 50 pending. Asterisk technical talent retention, 95%. Asterisk client satisfaction, top 5% industry-wide. Asterisk employee morale, rated best place to work, 2 years running. How? My mother whispered. How did you build all this without us knowing? I laughed softly. That's the irony, Mother. You all knew. I sent reports, presentations, proposals, dozens of them. But you were too busy attending charity galas and managing the family image to read them. I clicked to another slide, displaying years of ignored emails and dismissed proposals. Remember this one? I pointed to a particular proposal. This silly little project, Amanda said, wasn't worth the board's time. It's now worth $200 million in annual revenue for Phoenix Rising. The kitchen staff had begun serving champagne, not to the party guests but to each other. They'd been part of my journey, watching and helping as I built my company from the ground up. Which brings us to the real announcement, I continued, nodding to my assistant. The screens changed one final time. Phoenix Rising Technologies announces. Asterisk employee stock ownership program launched. Asterisk all support staff to receive shares. Asterisk new technical training initiative. Asterisk expanded education benefits. Asterisk profit-sharing program implemented. The kitchen staff erupted in cheers. They'd known this was coming, they'd helped me plan it. Many of them were already enrolled in technical training programs, preparing for their new roles in the transformed company. You're giving away company shares to servants? Amanda's voice dripped with disdain. I'm investing in people who invest in innovation, I corrected. Unlike some, they actually understand what builds real value. My father stepped forward, his business mask finally cracking to reveal desperation. Elena, be reasonable. We can work something out. The family name dash. The family name? I interrupted. Let's talk about the sterling name. I pulled up one final document. A legal notice that made Amanda gasp and my mother sink into a nearby chair. Effective immediately, Sterling Industries will be rebranded as Phoenix Global Technologies. The Sterling name, like your management style, is a relic of the past. The party guests were openly leaving now, their anniversary celebrations forgotten in the wake of this corporate earthquake. Board members huddled in corners, frantically calling their lawyers. Amanda's boyfriend Turnsudo was already trying to delete files from his phone, watched carefully by my security team. You have until midnight to clear out your offices, I announced to the room at large. After that, the passwords change, the locks change, and the company changes. I turned to my family, seeing them clearly for perhaps the first time. You seated me with the kitchen staff because you thought it would humiliate me. Instead, it showed me who really builds value in a company. While you were playing corporate royalty, they were helping me create something real. My mother found her voice, though it shook slightly. Where will we go? What will we do? That's not my concern, I replied calmly. But since it's your anniversary, I did get you a gift. I handed them one final envelope. Inside was a single share certificate in Phoenix Global Technologies. 1 share each, I explained. So you can watch from the sidelines as the company you dismissed becomes the industry leader you never could build. Consider it a lesson in real business management. The kitchen staff had lined up behind me, many of them already wearing Phoenix Rising badges. They were no longer servants but shareholders, no longer invisible but integral to the company's future.